Hello there, YouTube. Today I'm going to review the Simpsons episode Homerpalooza, season 7, episode 24. It came out in '95, I believe, and yeah, it's a great episode, top tier episode, one of my favorites. And yeah, a lot of people, a lot of fucking dweebs, on forums, they rank a lot of the Simpsons episodes, and they often say this is one of the weaker classics because it feels dated. And I just think that's a stupid fucking argument. That is so fucking stupid. This episode came out before I was born, but I'm not going to bitch about it being dated because I'm not a fucking entitled fucking piece of shit. Not every piece of media needs to be catered to me in my time. Okay, this episode was made for the audiences of '95. So if you can't fucking accept that, get over it. Like, you're getting mad at an episode that you're getting mad that a TV show meant to appeal. It's just like the fuck, these people who want every piece of media to be timeless. They're ruining fucking art. They're fucking dweebs. Timeless fiction. When you try so hard to make fiction timeless, you're fucking neutering it. You're castrating it. You're fucking turning it into some bland fucking mush with no time period set in peace. You are taking the concept of time and you are squandering it. You parasite. You maggot of a man. You fucking ass munching dipshit. So anyway, this episode of Homerpalooza I just think is a really good episode. A lot of interesting guest stars. Just very fun episode. I think what I love about it the most is the perception of Homer Simpson, and Homer Simpson is a character that he evolved in the early '90s to something like if you look at Homer's original character in the Tracy Ullman shorts. Homer was kind of like this very stern, kind of like Fred Flintstone type of character. I think from what you see of Homer, you kind of assume him to be in his mid 40s. He probably went to high school in the 60s or 50s. Just a very gruff and rough kind of a guy. And then in the early '90s, they kind of evolved Homer to be kind of the more, lovable, dim, but like passionate in a sense about like he has passion in sort of every emotion he could have. Even when he's apathetic, he's still somehow really passionate. It's hard to explain, but yeah, and there's people who prefer the old Homer because it's like the whole sort of thing was that Homer was a painfully average man in a world full of Homers. Where I think later the '90s sort of made it clear that Homer is just like way too insane even for this world. And there are times where I think it balances out. Sometimes it doesn't. I think Homer is a hard character to nail because there are times where it's like the insanity of Homer Simpson correlates with the insanity of the world. You don't think either one sticks out, but there's episodes that make it clear that it's like, no, everyone else in society is fine. It's just Homer Simpson. But then it's played off as like, well, it's people like Homer Simpson. And, it could vary either way. If I'm not making sense, then you're just like stupid. But we look at the my so even with that being debated, I think one of my favorite things about the '90s characterization of Homer Simpson, which is still being used to this day, even if it's kind of changed, and I'll get into that why. What's changed is Homer's kind of youth. See, in the '90s, it's assumed Homer's like a very young boomer. He went to high school in the '70s. That's like boomer, but it's not like old boomer. That's like young boomer. Going to high school in the '70s, and I really like that characterization of Homer being kind of like this like former '70s youth turned into like '90s, like what happened, man. That's my favorite sort of characterization of Homer is rock and roll lost its way. Nowadays you can't really do that. Homer would have been like a young guy in the late 90s or 2000s. So Homer would probably been one of those white guys trying to be like rappers after seeing 8 Mile. That would have been Homer nowadays, like Homer's youth. Back then, yeah, it was like the what happened to rock and roll man. And that really is one of my favorite aspects of the character. And, I just think it correlates really good with this episode. It's one of my favorite episodes, Homerpalooza. Season 7 is objectively, like, the best season of the show. And if anyone, like, tells me, like, no, I punch him in the face. Actually, I do really like the Scully years. A lot of people shit on the Scully years. I actually do really like seasons 11 and 12 because that's actually, like, my favorite interpretation of Marge. With Marge as a character, in the early seasons and now in the later seasons, so in kind of the front and back, Marge's character was like, she's someone more sophisticated that, she's like, oh, she's very artistic. And, and to be fair, there's some of those episodes I really like, but at the same time, I kind of feel like that just makes it more kind of depressing. Like, oh, like Homer sort of oafish nature is holding her back. What I like in the Scully years is how she's sort of like this like weird kind of quirky kind of like you have to watch those episodes because they don't make Marge overly sophisticated. In fact, she's just as she could just be as like lowbrow as the rest of the family, and that's what I really like about Marge's characterization. Even and I feel like in that sense you could tell, oh, that's why Homer and Marge are together, and I really like the Scully years. I'm gonna defend the Scully years, man. I like him more than the Al Jean years, and I like there's some good Al Jean episodes, but I mean with him as showrunner, but I know the Scully years I just liked a little bit more. They had a little more of a oomph to them, It's like people still bitch about the horse jockey episode. I'm like, that episode's perfectly fucking fine, except for that one scene in the first act of that episode where the rival school Ogdenville, they hold up the glow sticks at the county fair, and it's like how do glow sticks don't work in broad daylight, Boy, I hope someone really I hope someone got fired for that blunder. Boy, I hope someone got fucking curb stomped for that blunder. Yeah, and there's so many good episodes of the Scully era. It's like the fucking I can't believe all those nerds were bitching about the show back in the early 2000s. It's like those episodes are perfectly fine. You should, because like now after the Scully years, they bitched so hard that they tried super hard to just make the show just so not take any risks. The Scully years were like, fuck it, let's take a risk. And now the show, sometimes they'll take a little risk, but not that much. You look at the Simpsons movie, and the Simpsons movie just look. I like the way it looks. I like the score. The score is amazing. I like how it took itself to a cinematic level. What I didn't like was that it just felt focus test to death. If you listen to the commentary of the Simpsons movie, they were like, okay, Seattle, they didn't like this joke, so we cut it out. Arizona, they didn't like this joke, we took it out of there. It's just like, why don't you just like fucking like back off, show some fucking confidence, show some fucking balls. Why are you like letting some fucking dipshits at a test screening bark at you? Make a piece of art. See, it's like you make the movie for the fans, not for the fucking. It's like why have Arnold Schwarzenegger? That's Rainer Wolfcastle. That's McBain. Do you think people is that going to confuse people by making a McBain reference? No, just fucking like show some confidence. It's like I hate that movie. I fucking hate it because it just lacked confidence. It lacked passion. And also I feel like the movie, they didn't have Josh Weinstein and Bill Oakley for that movie. They should have got those guys. I feel like those guys could have, give it some good touches, like because they had better seasons compared to other writers, so Yeah. I don't know, man. Homerpalooza, man, what a good fucking episode. Yeah, I like that part where Milhouse is like, "Hey, I used to carpool with that guy." Man, Milhouse is fucking funny. I've said this in a video a long time ago. I'm just gonna say it again. Milhouse is an alpha male. Milhouse is a Chad. There was an episode where it's revealed that Milhouse has a six pack. There's Milhouse got a girlfriend before Bart. Milhouse was like collecting souls. Milhouse used to be sort of like the alpha male of Springfield, and yeah, I mean maybe he still is. Maybe he just downplays it a bit, but yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Milhouse is alpha. Milhouse is Chad. Milhouse fucks like Milhouse could fuck any bitch in the world because Milhouse is the pussy slayer. Milhouse has fucked Marge. Milhouse has fucked Mrs. Krabappel. Milhouse fucked Lurleen Lumpkin. Milhouse fucked the belly dancer from season one. Milhouse has fucked Helen Lovejoy. Milhouse fucked Milhouse fucked Maud Flanders, and that's why Maud Flanders like killed herself. It was actually a very you know a very tactical suicide on her part. She killed herself because Milhouse, he was like, "Look, I'm done with you, bitch." Milhouse was like, "Yo, you're a little crazy. Back off," and she killed herself. Milhouse fuck Nelson's mom. That's why Nelson sometimes bullies Milhouse because he's mad, and Milhouse is like, "Look, I won." And look, and you know what? When Milhouse, when Nelson punched Milhouse, Milhouse is the reason why Nelson's father is gone. Milhouse fucking like, he fucking beat Nelson's dad to like a bloody mess, and Milhouse was like, "Get out of town, bitch." Like Milhouse, like don't fuck with Milhouse. Should not have punched Milhouse, Nelson. Milhouse will fuck you up. Milhouse fucked Apu's wife. All eight of her children are actually Milhouses. They had blue hair. Apu, dyed their hair because he didn't want anyone to know he was a cuckold. Milhouse could have fucked Comic Book Guy's wife, but he didn't because Milhouse and Comic Book Guy both respect each other. They're both sort of like the alpha males of Springfield. Comic Book Guy lays down the law of the Springfield business district, whereas Milhouse lays down the law at sort of the neighborhoods, the school, by the church. Lays down the law in the suburban area. They both respect each other. Comic Book Guy and Milhouse, they're both alpha males, and Milhouse is like, "I'm not going to fuck your woman," because they both have different stances. Milhouse wants to be the Genghis Khan of Springfield. He wants to spread his seed all over, whereas Comic Book Guy is a man of moral principles. He just wants to keep his wife. That's all he wants. He just wants that honor. And they both respect each other's different lifestyles. Milhouse will not touch Comic Book Guy's wife, but Milhouse, he does not respect who else is in Springfield. There's not a lot of like female adult characters. Milhouse fucked Mindy, Homer's coworker. Milhouse. Who else is Milhouse is just fucked. Milhouse fucked Miss Hoover. Milhouse fucked Skinner's mom, and it wasn't pleasant. But Milhouse has a reputation to maintain, so he's like, "Look, I gotta do it." It's just the way of the Milhouse. Milhouse fucks. Like you could say Milhouse doesn't fuck, but Milhouse will fucking find you, beat you up, and that's why Jimbo, Kearney, and Dolph. It's why they beat up Milhouse because they're mad at Milhouse for fucking all their moms, and Milhouse is like, "Look, I already won the battle. Do what you must." Milhouse fucked, Martin's mom. Milhouse fucked Sherry and Terry's mom. Milhouse has fucked Milhouse fucked Moe's midget girlfriend. Milhouse fucked the Bumblebee man's wife. Milhouse has fucked Lindsay Nagel, the short-haired blonde chick. Milhouse fucked Cookie Kwan. Yeah, it's like just Milhouse can't stop fucking. He even fucked Chief Wiggum's wife because, Milhouse is like, look, I lay down the law while you sit on your fat ass eating donuts. I'm the one who lays down the law, So yeah, she wants me, I want her now. And Chief, like the little bitch he is, he lets. And then Lou tells Chief Wiggum, sir, you're kind of a cuckold. Sir, Milhouse is fucking your wife. And, Chief Wiggum tells Lou to shut up because he knows it's true. Milhouse fucked Cletus's wife. Milhouse has fucked Milhouse has fucked Mayor Quinby's wife and his mistress, Miss Springfield. Because, like I said, Milhouse lays down the law of Springfield. Milhouse owns Springfield. What the fuck is Mayor Quimby gonna do? It's like Milhouse is just an alpha male. And if you disagree, you're fucking stupid. Homerpalooza. What a good episode. What a great episode of The Simpsons, Man, yeah, it's just, Homer Simpson. Yeah, what a good episode, Homerpalooza. All right, I'm gonna go eat a sandwich. Peace out, YouTube.